I'm Dino Mosquera, and let's queer up politics. Out, Pete Buttigieg tops early 2028 Democratic poll in New Hampshire. Former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is off to a strong start in the race for the 2028 Democratic presidential nomination. A new Granite State poll from the University of New Hampshire Survey Center shows how Buttigieg leading the Democratic field with 19% support among likely primary voters. California Governor Gavin Newsom follows at 15%, with Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez close behind at 14%. Former Vice President Kamala Harris earned 11%, Senator Bernie Sanders 8%, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker 6%. 10% of voters remain undecided. Buttigieg also topped the favorability rankings with 81% of respondents viewing him positively, higher than Sanders at 72% and Ocasio-Cortez at 66%. His strongest backing came from voters identifying as liberal, as well as women and registered Democrats. On the Republican side, Senator J.D. Vance dominated with 51% support, followed by Governor Nikki Haley at 9%. The survey polled 1,547 residents between October 16 and 21st. I'm kind of surprised. I thought Gavin Newsom actually was leading the polls, but Pete Buttigieg, who's a great candidate, if you ask me. Again, we may be biased here, but he's a great candidate no matter what in any space. I think he's a great candidate, but the country is what it is right now with Donald Trump in the political space, and it's gonna be an uphill battle for Pete Buttigieg to get that nomination. And I'm surprised that Kamala Harris come way down, but because she probably thinks that she's the natural next candidate, but I think that it's going to be between, Buttigieg and Gavin Newsom, who's also a fantastic candidate and gorgeous on top of that.
And gorgeous. And an incredible ally. I mean, and what he has done and represented in San Francisco is just beyond and amazing, and what he's done for California. But Pete Buttigieg, I mean, like, you see him on Fox News, and I'm, like, blown away. It doesn't matter. Like, he's eating, all right? Like, he does not leave crumbs, right? He will answer anything that he needs to answer and leave the interviewer, like, in the dust.
He doesn't even have to raise the voice.
No, very just matter of fact kind of deal.
Any of these candidates that we talked about, Newsom, Alexandria Cortez, they are all qualified people. Yes. When we get to 2028, and if we do luckily take back the presidency, when in 2028.
No, when we take back.
Yes, thank you. Because you know what? I mean, I'm hoping that maybe we'll get, a little, there's going to be a lot of work for this new president that does come in. Of course. Because, the next couple of years, I can't imagine what's going to be happening with our country.
And you have to pry that seat from Trump's hands, because he's not leaving. According to him, he's not leaving that White House anytime soon. All right. So thinking about that. But from now to then, like you said, it's a huge uphill battle. Anything can happen. I hope that when time gets closer, if somebody needs to bail out and help somebody else get ahead, I hope that occurs, right? Because the higher you go, the louder the haters become.
But the homophobia is so blatant right now. So Pete Buttigieg, who's a great guy by all measurements, he has to deal with this because people, even Kamala Harris said it in her book that, she loved him, but, picking him, she may have a point there, but things have to happen the first time. Always.
No, but say it. Like, America wasn't ready to vote for a black woman and a gay man.
Right.
And that was why, because we were all screaming for it during that time, of course, right? Because we knew what was waiting for us on the other side of that hill, right? But it wasn't Pete's time. It was not. And I think that it would have completely, threatened his future running if Kamala would have tapped him on the shoulder.
And I think it proved it right.
And let's not remember, President Biden, quickly left, in the middle of it. And she had, 3 or 4 months to...
She had 3 months.
To put a campaign together. So maybe she wants to run again just to do it right, and not so quick, So, but like I said, any of these candidates, I would definitely vote for across the board.
And this is not going to be the last time you hear about this, right? We're going to be following polls like this all the way up the next couple of years. So there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.